Pruda's here. Just fixing my chat window so we can see what people are writing. Let's say top chat. I want the whole chat. Live chat. There we go. Pruda says, I just finished these. So happy with them. Oh, I got to go see. It's on her Instagram. What is she doing? Oh, she made wrist warmers. Those are good. What kind of yarn did you use? Where's my live? There it is. And then I lost my window again. I think I lost my pop out chat. Or it's behind the camera. Yep, there it is. Okay. I can see Pruda chatting, so that means we got to chat. Do you know where we're standing? How can I... There. I'm being finicky about the way things look. Good morning! You guys made it in. Heidi's here too, and Robin's here as well. Well, it's a good morning. Already is. Yeah, it is. Look who I have. It's your sister, Heidi. Yeah. You have to get the other Heidi to log in. I didn't get enough time to advertise today, so we'll see how many show up because it's on Friday instead of Saturday, but Darwin says it's going to be worthwhile. Don't you think? Nell is here as well. It's a brisk 8 degrees. Back in the 1940s, cottages had plus 6 degrees. We'll see how badly you'll freeze. You can do it.
What?
Freezing. Back where in the old days, the houses got like 6 degrees. Rune doesn't think you're going to make it. Karl, on the other hand, he's looking rather Viking today, so you'll be just fine in your sleeping bag. So why did I want to stand here? What is that?
It's a target.
It's a target. So tell them about, you have to show the weapon first. Where is it? While we're waiting for people to log in. Lyra made it too. Oh, good. We have people then. I didn't get much time to advertise it this morning. And then I put Greg on the cover, finally got a photo of Greg, and forgot that he's not here today. So this time he's not late. What, you have to show this properly. There's a story behind these. You had 2 or 1?
I have another one too. You're working on it, I guess.
Yeah. What is that? You're not going to tell the story. You're just going to make me demonstrate this?
Oh, I thought you were asking the chat what it was.
Yeah, no, that's it. What is this? You can't needle bind with it. Hello from Dora and Karsten. Do you know what this is? Tell the story, Karl.
Well, I have had these 2 javelin heads for probably 10 or 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now finally I got Rune to actually turn them into javelins. That's one of the kind of forgotten weapons of the Vikings. It's mentioned quite a lot in the sagas. And in archaeology, they keep finding these, often very decorated, very long-necked javelin heads. So this is a weapon for war and hunting, but primarily for war. Because most animals don't let you get close enough to actually use them. People are stupid, on the other hand.
Darwin worthy, are you saying?
No.
If they walked into a javelin, would that be a Darwin worthy death?
If you walk into a stationary javelin and you die from it, yes, that would be very Darwin worthy. But being hit by a javelin, that's just fair play. It just happens.
What is the difference between a javelin and a spear?
Usage. You can use a spear as a javelin, or you can use a javelin as a spear, but the javelin is meant to be thrown, and the spear is meant to be stabbed with.
Yeah. I put it in my story as a spear, and I got schooled. It's a javelin.
Yeah. And normally a spear, at least a thrusting spear, is a bit bigger and heavier.
Yeah.
Huh.
This would be very quick, but it's a little bit flimsy for taking weapon hits.
And Rune put, well, he stripped the bark off of it rather nicely, but you polished it too, though.
Yeah.
Sanded it.
It's not straight.
No, but it was cool to watch this thing sail. If you saw the slow-mo video, Rune's got it on his Facebook
Maybe
now.
it wouldn't wobble that much if it was completely straight, but it's very hard to find a straight piece of tree in the forest. It looks straight when it stands straight up and down, but when you take it down, it's always a bend on them.
Yeah. And also for usage, it doesn't matter much that it's a little bit curved.
No.
So I had a really hard time writing the description for this YouTube chat because I almost wrote Rune polished Karl's spear or shaft.
Okay.
I couldn't think of any nice way to say it, so everything else you're saying after that sounds okay. So there's your innuendo thing.
Rune polished Karl's shaft and it is not straight.
It wasn't straight, it was curved. I don't know, but it's nice and smooth. And he put a head on it. There's just so many wrong ways.
Yeah,
I was having a really hard time writing the description to try to make it sound good. So there you go. But yep, so you fashioned this with it and you're working on the other one as well?
Yeah.
What did you use to adhere it?
Really
good Viking glue?
Yeah.
Which is, if you can't see it, you didn't know it.
No. Yeah, I have used it for other people who wants to do the same. I used super epoxy.
Super epoxy. What would you use for Viking though?
I don't know.
You boil fish bones, and then
Yeah?
you boil them again, and then you boil them again, and then you
Yeah.
boil them again, and in the end you will have a very sticky substance that works great as glue.
Yeah.
Huh. And then okay, and that wouldn't pop off or get stuck in the.
Sooner or later, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
But it will last for a while.
So we need Bjornar is here. He said it was straight and smooth, but then Rune polished the shaft and it went back. You get that? That's Karl's relatives, by the way. So it's not just me.
Okay.
Thank you. You try writing a description for that. It's not easy being in a YouTube blonde. Okay, well, it's getting darker. Anyway, show us, see if they can get it.
Yeah, I've thrown it twice today, and that's the only time I've thrown a javelin since
It's a
2004.
very sticky substance. Giggly giggly, says Robin. Nice spear, by the way, says the Hebrew name I cannot pronounce.
He's throwing now.
He's throwing. Okay, we're watching. It helps if you look at the target.
No, I don't have to. It will go that way.
I don't know if you heard that. He says he doesn't have to look at the target. It will go that way. Again. Okay. Now, if the judges, would you call that a 1 or a 10? 5? Place your scores. Okay, go again. It was over.
It would hit his head. If
It
he
will
had
hit
a
his head. Is the wind blowing in the microphone, by the way? I noticed there's a little bit of wind. And I can try to put some wool over it. She says that was comically good. I promise that's what she wrote. 1 out of 10. Perfect. Okay, go again.
Ah! Good.
No wind in the microphone. Okay, if it starts picking up wind in the microphone, let me know and I'll try to put some wool on top.
I remember normally he would have like 100 men in front of him, and he would hit at least one of them.
You'd hit one? Yeah? Would you get it back though?
No, not if he hit him.
The other, if there was 100 men there and you hit only one,
Yeah. Okay.
I would totally pick it up and throw it
Yes,
back.
Yeah.
and I also think that a normal Viking would not be bothered with office work, long conversation with Russian ladies, and other things I've been doing today.
No.
Yeah. Okay. She said maybe you should go inside the barn. No.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. So Heidi Leetseth is waving.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Me?
Yeah. We're making Heidi's brother do this. Bjorn Artis says we don't really know how they threw spears, but in informations against the shield lines and several rows of enemies, you would lob it at short range, like 20 to 30 meters, just before changing in. Okay, are you ready, folks? And Karl, do you agree with it? That's the wrong way. All right. Ooh, well, did it break? No. If you did a good job, it won't break. What? Oh, yeah. All right, here goes. It's Rune. Well, it did stick in the background. So is this Selje versus Trondheim?
No, it's a matter of
Selje, Norway versus Trondheim, Norway?
notice that Rune is throwing like this.
Yeah.
And that's good for a straight line and direct fire.
Yeah.
I tried to get it to go like this, but years and years since I've been doing this.
You're covering you gotta watch, we gotta see him, and you're right in shot. There we go. If he's gonna miss, we want to make sure everyone sees it. Finsgauer writes, it's much easier to hit the broadside of a barn than the inside of the from the inside. I agree. That's definitely the way to go. I'm trying this. My turn. All right, Karl, your commentary.
Well, if she pulls this one off, then we'll never have the end of it. So I would normally wish her well, but
no.
You throw like this?
Yeah.
Damn it!
And she throws like a girl.
Yeah, but it got
she
on the
hits.
first try.
Yeah,
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm making you look bad. But I didn't think that was gonna work.
Good.
That's right. Okay. Your sister's laughing with me.
Of course.
I like your family. Both of your family is awesome. That's today's, the wallpaper. I took a shot of, it's not the prettiest wallpaper, but it's what we're standing in front of today. Bullseye! That's right. Karl's got good taste, Björnarda. Okay, so we're just going to let that sit there because art like that should not be disturbed. Darwin-worthy deaths, or I tell him what I'm working on. Which one do you want to do first? It's up to okay, I tell him if she shoots, she scores. Woo! Come from a hockey state. Okay, I'm making one of these. I did start this a couple of weeks ago and didn't get a chance to finish it because I'm making this when I don't have Greg's legs handy because I need to finish his socks. And we're not even going to talk about the blacksmith sweater. It'll be done in time for summer. Okay. Anyway, so I'm doing the Oslo Stitch, which is what that is. Same on my collar, actually. So to this, I do F1, which is one new loop, and one behind the thumb going away from me, and then one underneath the thumb loop and one forward. So behind the thumb, it looks like that, but I have to lock it with my finger before pulling it through and then pull it downwards so the yarn doesn't jump. There you go. That's today's needle binding. Another way to do Oslo is to leave the old loop on the thumb. Go under the next loop. Go under it from the right side of your thumb and take it off, but leave it on the needle. And then turn and go. It's the same thing. That's today's needle binding tip. We'll see if it fits. Okay, I want Darwin-worthy deaths. Did anybody else find a Darwin-worthy death? Aunt Bonnie's here. She said everything is turning green. It is. It's getting slowly green.
Yeah.
That's a rock slide, by the way. That's why it's all scraped there. And there's no trees because they all fell down last summer.
Is that the one who took the camping car?
That's the one that took the camping car.
Yeah.
Somebody thought it was real smart to park their camper underneath, regardless of all the avalanche danger, rockfall signs. And they even went and told them to go move. And they're like, yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they actually didn't get hurt, but their camper has seen better days. I think that came out by tow truck. Anyway, and they ended up spending the whole day in the village because there was nothing else for them to do. But that's a ticket for us, so we're not too upset. But that could have gone real bad. Okay, who wants to go first on Darwin-worthy death, Viking deaths?
I can start with mine.
Yeah.
Sigurd Øysteinsson. Back when Harald the Fine-Haired became king of all of Norway, a lot of people ran away. Some went to Iceland to basically colonize it, and some other more militant ones went to the Orkneys. This might be a case of one man's freedom fighter is another man's Viking, but these people were really annoying because they kept riding the coast of Norway, and they also raided other places and gave Norwegians a bad name all over the place. So he sends a guy there to defeat him. And this guy does a fantastic job. He clears out the Orkneys, but he loses his son. So in compensation, Harald the Finehaired gives him the jarldom of the Orkneys and makes him jarl under him with control of the Orkneys. This guy dies, and his brother, Sigurd Øystein, takes over, and he's also known as Sigurd the Mighty, because obviously it's boring to just sit on the Orkneys and do nothing when all the Vikings are defeated. So he immediately starts a career as a Viking and starts plundering Scotland, backwards and forwards. He has a particular enemy, a Scotsman called Malbrigda. And after a long time of fighting, he finally defeats Malbrigda, cuts his head off and hangs it on the saddle of his horse. But this head has a tooth sticking out, and he rubs his leg against it, gets a little cut, gets an infection, and he dies. So Sigurd Øystein kills Malbrigda, and Malbrigda kills Sigurd Øystein. In gaming terms, that's double kill.
Yeah. I like that he could kill somebody post-mortem. That was probably my favorite, though. And do you think the Headless Horseman? No.
No, it was a horseman with an extra head. So the two-headed horseman, you could say.
Beat that, Ichabod Crane. There was a question about the javelin. Just a second, I lost it. Base ID. Okay. Is there such a thing as a javelin with fletching? I don't know what fletching is, do you?
Fletching would be steering feathers.
Yeah.
Not as far as I know, there is no find of something like that. But our friend Anders Hovland was experimenting with that. And he had a javelin that he had put fletching on. And it works really well.
Really?
He tried to test if it would go through a shield. So he set up a shield and he threw his fletched javelin at it. And it hit too good. It went straight into the shield boss. But it actually punched through the shield boss.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So
my little girly throw there would have never gone through a shield boss.
No, but he doesn't throw like a girl.
I think I've seen South American Native Americans from maybe Mayans or Aztecs used javelins with fletching.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen people throw, I don't know if they are javelins strictly speaking. There's something called an alt-alt.
Yeah.
It's basically an arm like this, and then you put the spear there, then you hold this arm in your hands. You get a longer swing when you throw something. And these things often have fletchings.
Yeah.
But this is some hybrid between a javelin and an arrow, so it's kind of hard to say.
And the other question was, I think, who is getting the red, the red pulse warmers or wrist warmers or fingerless gloves anyway, with a boat on them, because I finally got around to posting something on Instagram for the first time since Easter. Those go to my boss. She turned 60, but don't tell her I said that. So she needed some nice ones to keep warm, and she's always freezing. She usually flies south for the winter, but due to COVID, she was unable to because South didn't want her. So I had to get her something to keep a little bit warmer. And the nice thing is the wool that it's made with is wool that we sell in the store and is produced locally or not too far away. So she's very happy. Karl, Rune, you also found a Darwin-worthy Viking death.
Yeah, that is an Earl. Eirik Earl of Lade is from Trondheim.
Yeah.
And he was kind of allied, not the real king, but he ruled Norway, and he was allied to Svein Tjugeskjegg, I suppose. Yes, that's the son of Harald Bluetooth. And he was a really badass Viking because he beat the Jomsvikingene at the Battle of Hjørungavåg, and he beat Olav Tryggvason at the Battle of Svolder. And he died of infection because of operation on his, what's the Javelin?
Uvula. I had to look that up.
Uvula,
I could not remember the word. I did not do what you think, but
They cut off his uvula, and he died of either loss of blood or infection.
Yeah.
So it's not very.
It's a good Darwin death, I think.
But
it could have been avoided.
He was a real badass Viking, and it dies from infection from a
little amputation.
Surgery.
He seems
Viking
to have
surgery.
been a Christian, and I think that's good for him. Because botched operation, I don't know where you end up there in Old Norse mythology.
No, I don't know.
Bjornar said he made some javelins out of broom shafts, stuck plastic fletches on them, and made an atlat. How do you say this?
Atlatl or something.
Atlatl. Yeah. I could easily throw like 70 meters with them. Yeah. But could you hit the target like I did? Okay. I'm never going to let them live this one. The first time I ever threw a javelin.
We are going to practice a little bit after dark, I think.
Because I'm
Next time, we are prepared.
Meanwhile, I'm not even Norwegian. Okay, I'm going to get killed there. I'm never going to have them on YouTube again. They're never going to come back. Do we have any more Darwin-worthy deaths, Viking deaths? Or we could go one step further since you touched in on surgery. Viking surgery. You didn't prepare for that, though.
We know so little about it. There is one more Darwin-worthy death.
Oh, tell.
Kind of. It's an accident, but it's a stupid accident. Halvdan the Black. It doesn't occur to him that when a fuckload of horses and cows has been shitting on the same ice, that ice might not be good to go over. So he goes through the ice because of cow shit and drones.
Yeah.
I think this was when he returned from the Midwinterblot.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes. Either he was sitting on a sledge or he was riding.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he went through the ice.
And apparently
because of cow shit. That's a bit stupid.
But also the manure didn't make it melt a little faster, did you say?
Yeah, something black will absorb sunlight. You notice it when you have a lot of snow on the ground. If a small stick is lying on top of the snow, it will very quickly go through the snow.
Yeah, that's true. So there you go. Dre there is from Duluth, so we know a lot about black ice there on the roads, but black ice on the lake, I don't think I would have seen so quickly.
No, if you see something that doesn't look like ice, you might not want to cross it if you are on a frozen lake.
Yeah. And preferably thick ice.
Preferably, but you don't know that until you fall through it and can measure it.
Someone wanted, what's my ethnic background? I am Polish mostly and German, but I'm from United States. But my great-grandparents, I'm a third-generation American, so I moved to Norway. But no, most of the family I know is Polish, but Aunt Bonnie in there, she's from the German part, if I remember right. But I think about 4 generations back, there's an adoption, so who the hell knows? But I'm not Norwegian. Heidi's here, the other Heidi.
Hi.
She said she's looking forward to coming to Gudvangen this summer. I heard she just booked a house in June. So you can come in June and see Heidi. Just
the house is ready.
Yep, it's right there. That's the back side of the house, though. It's more impressive from the front. There we go. Whoops. I lost my grip. Ta-da. Well, he says it's ready. That means he's going to be cleaning before you come. So I'm not going to do it. Have you figured out how many cows Karin is worth yet, Karl?
Don't know.
I could throw a javelin. That's got to be at least worth 2.
Yeah, I don't know if, since you are already established that you're a goddess, I don't know if the javelin throwing is makes much of a difference, really.
No.
Damn it. So if I'm a goddess, then I'm worth a lot of holy cows.
You would be, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I am definitely worth a lot of holy cows. There you go. There's an app now for calculating a woman's worth in cows for South Africa. Oh, we need that link. At least he does. Oh, maybe how many cows is Heidi worth? No, there we go. Throw someone else under the bus for a change. And no pressure, but she's watching.
There's not enough cows in Norway for that.
There's not. Oh, what the hell's wrong with you? I baked all the wrong cow. Bull. Nice house, pretty woodworks. Holly is her name, yeah. Well, that one's a big haul, but that if I go slow so I don't make you sick. There you can see some more houses. This one is a double. It's a duplex. There's one on this side and one on that side. And this is a single. That one there is a single, I think. But there's one more double like this, but otherwise all the houses are singles. Some have awnings like that. Some don't. Mine doesn't. Yours doesn't.
What awnings?
Awnings, you know, those coverings. So you can sit outside and not get wet when you cook your food. I don't. Oh, there, she's got the app for you there. So, okay, so we don't know much about Viking surgery, although that's been a very popular question.
Yes, it
that
has.
and health and pandemic, sickness and medicines. People have been asking those questions a lot lately, so I wonder if it has.
Can you tell the story about onion soup to find out if they are
here.
lethally wounded or?
Yeah, they get some kind of porridge with onions or onion soup. And then you go away for a while and then you come back and smell the wound. If people have been stabbed in the abdomen. If the wound smells like onions, he's a goner, and there is no point in spending any time and energy in fixing it. But if it doesn't smell like onions, at least clean it and then sew it shut, and he might survive.
Yeah.
What about the magic mushrooms that Floki, I think, in season 1 of Vikings stuffed into somebody's face to make them survive?
I don't.
It's historically accurate show. You can't fool me.
Vikings, so I wouldn't know what kind of mushrooms that would be.
Hates that show.
Yeah.
I like it for entertainment value, though. But no, so there's no magical herbs that will bring you back to death
90% of
or
your
life.
entertainment from watching Vikings is looking at me going.
It's so fun. Okay, is there a currency exchange for goats?
Yes. I don't know. Obviously, you can buy and sell a goat, so there would be a currency exchange for it. I just don't know what the average price for a goat would be.
No, I don't know. But it's not many thousand, I think.
No.
If you get a
How many chickens?
If you get a small goat, then it's very, very cheap. You can basically throw it. They basically throw it at you. But the grown-up goat is more expensive.
A grown-up goat is more. Is a boy goat or a girl goat worth more?
Girls.
Because they can make more goats?
Yeah.
You still need a boy goat to make a goat.
Milk them and make cheese.
Milk, yes.
What about the rental price of the animals like this? How that one came up.
I know there's someone that rents out goats to clean up not vegetables, but ugras, weeds and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's actually true. There's some not too far from where I live in Vestby that does that.
Yeah.
Ut på beite or whatever,
Goats eat everything.
Yeah.
I remember back in 2009, somebody had a list of medieval prices for things. And somewhere, I think Vemund used it to calculate that his helmet was worth 40,000 eggs.
Oh.
But,
I like Vemund.
all of these things would be regulated by supply and demand. Nobody would really sell a helmet for 40,000 eggs.
Yeah.
What the hell are you supposed to do with 40,000 eggs?
Yeah.
Your need for eggs is probably saturated at about 12.
Yeah.
And after that, they are basically ammunition. You don't have a refrigerator to put them in.
No.
So when you really, really want eggs are worth a lot. And when you are stuffed and you have enough eggs that you are worried about your eggs getting rotten or hatching chickens, you're not interested in eggs anymore, and people have to come up with something else.
But if you are really starving and you have only one helmet, you might want to change your helmet for one egg.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you are
you're hungry enough,
yeah. And then you can have the 39,999 other eggs.
It takes 2 chickens to tango. Takes 2 eggs to tango. Can we say that?
You can say that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it carries any meaning, but you can say it.
And don't put them all in the same basket, right? I like that one. We have a massive surplus of eggs lately. We can't eat them fast enough. We're getting Greg to make quiche. We've been making French toast, which was, what was that called in Norwegian again?
Armriddere.
What he said. And armriddere. I've never heard them that called that before, but
Poor nights or pitiful nights.
Yeah.
pitiful nights.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was just, well, we called them French toast, but they're basically white bread, preferably dunked in a bunch of beaten eggs. Then you just fry them. They're really good with cinnamon and brown sugar.
Omelette.
We've been eating omelets for months.
Yeah.
But there seem to be quite a few more. So we need some. Heidi, you have to come here and eat some eggs. Then we'll let you go over the stick. But only if you eat the eggs. Anyway, yeah. I was going to ask something else. Yeah, we watched a movie. Birkebeiner. Oh, Yorkshire pudding. That's a lot of eggs. I need to learn how to make that. If you're getting hungry, we got some eggs, Robin. They're just, about 40 of them over there. Birkebeiner is that Viking. They look like Vikings on the cover. I have to spell that for you. Birkebeiner.
It's high medieval, 1200s-ish.
It is a, I didn't even type that. I thought it is a Norwegian movie. Oh, wow, that's like some seriously big letters there. It's Birkebeiner. Anyway, it's a Norwegian movie, and I think they translated it on IMDb to something English, and they show this nice, wonderful English trailer, but the reason you don't hear them speaking is because they all speak Norwegian.
What is it called in English?
I thought it was called I have to look that up. Just a minute. I will. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that one more time? Did you catch that? He said the birch boners. Not what that means. And you guys think I'm the sick one. No, birch legs. There she goes. Pruda found it for you. Whatever the title says in there, there's an English one, but I forget what it was called, but it literally translates to the birch legs.
Okay.
I had a photo of Roger who decided to take birch that had been replaced up there. This is all birch.
Yeah.
I can get that to do what I want it to do. And he put them around his legs, and he wore them like that for a week, and then he decided not to wear them anymore. Whatever happened with that experiment?
I don't know.
But was he a true Birkebeiner then?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess it probably kept his legs a little warm. The Last King is what they called it.
Oh,
I don't know. Oh yeah, okay. But who wants to tell the plot?
Karl should do that.
Karl should. He's good at it.
He remembers things.
He does. I never do.
This is medieval, not Vikings. I was not paying that much attention, but the essence of the movie is Danish and Swedish people are evil. Norwegian people are good unless they are traitors, unlike the Danish or the Swedish people, or unless they are trying to sabotage the line of inheritance by murdering babies, which also would classify as evil. The Birkebeinere is trying to protect Håkon, the son of Håkon, and the Baglere with the Danish overlords are trying to kill Håkon, the son of Håkon. That, I think, is the plot synopsis. And this is high medieval, so for most of it, I can just go, I don't know. It's not Viking.
And this is a time of civil war in Norway, so everyone wanted to be a king, but yeah.
The way I understand it, the terms Birkebeinere or Baglere are originally insults that they make against each other. Birkebeinere, people birch legs.
Birch legs, yeah.
They are using birch bark as they are having straps of birch bark around their legs because, and the insult is probably those who can't afford shoes. Bagel is the bishop's staff. And the insult here is these are people who don't think for themselves. They will follow the bishop's staff no matter how immoral or stupid the bishop would happen to be. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but one side is with the bishop and one side is with the king-ish. But the bishop also has a king and the king also has a bishop, so it's complicated.
Holly says she has that actually on Blu-ray. Is it translated or is it dubbed? I mean, do they just put the text at the bottom or do they dub and talk over them?
And I feel
just curious.
Have to mention the axe.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, do tell.
I have one of these.
So Pruda asks, what's up with Karl's hair today? Now you know. First I kick his ass at javelin throwing, and then he saw a two-headed axe. She did, says, what is up with Karl's hair today?
Oh, what is up with my hair
You're today? A little bit more stressed than normal. There you go. Is he looking more Spanish now? He's not Spanish.
Well, I don't know for sure.
He could work as a Spanish Inquisition.
I can walk in the streets of Istanbul without getting bothered at all because all the locals think I'm Turkish.
Well, they wanted to know how we store the eggs to keep them fresh. I put them in the refrigerator, but I think you can actually literally have them on the counter for like 30 days.
Yeah.
The important thing is to get it out from under the chicken's butt. Otherwise, it'll turn into a chicken. You don't want that. Not if you're going to eat the egg. And I think if it goes maybe 4 days, it starts getting veins. In 7 days, you can actually do a light test. You hold the egg, and like a toilet paper roll or something, but a flashlight behind the egg, and then you can see veins through the toilet paper rolled into the egg anyway. Don't want to eat that one. Maybe. Is that better, Pruda? Can you put them on a bowl? Yeah, you can put them on a bowl just on the counter after wash. The protective coating is removed. No, but they last a long time. I think they can go at least up to 3 months because the ones that hit the grocery stores are actually already a couple of months old, I think, before they get them in there, or
I don't
at
know.
least a month. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what we do. So Birkebeiner, any baby that they had, they just put the necklace around him so that they know that that's the right baby.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
No,
so yes,
he had a cross around his neck.
Yes, the thing that they're handing over.
Or whatever. So,
to prove that it was the son.
So,
because babies are very hard to distinguish. One baby is identical to another baby. But jewelry, that's individual.
So it could actually be anyone's baby.
Could be anybody's baby. Yeah.
If you just put a cross around his neck, it could be anyone.
But if you're talking about Norwegian kings who could be anybody's baby, I don't think anybody beats Kong Sverre.
Oh, do tell.
It's 2 generations before this?
Yeah.
Back then, there was also civil war in Norway.
Really?
And one guy shows up. He's born in a monastery in England. But before his mother died, his mother told him that his father was the last king of Norway.
Yeah.
So he enthusiastically becomes king of Norway. It's only when you do the math that this doesn't really seem to add up. Because the last king of Norway was about 12 years old when his mother died.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but I really don't believe Kong Sverre had royal blood before he became Kong Sverre. But if you win great battles and people like you, you can become king of Norway. Even if you are a pussy.
No, you didn't.
He won a naval battle by standing on land in a red shirt pointing instead of actually fighting in the front. This would not fly in the Viking Age.
Hello? What if you put by the way, back to the necklace thing, what if you put a necklace on a Danish baby?
Yeah.
Did the Danes win and you're all actually Danish?
That is probable.
Yeah.
I kind of like that theory. Did I just insult you?
History is just a lot of coincidence that occurs.
Not really, and a Danish baby not raised to speak Danish wouldn't be Danish in any logical sense.
No. Just counting. 16. I have to count. By the way, Holly says the movie, it was The Last King over there, the Birkebeiner, is not dubbed, just subtitles. Yes. I think it's Germany is a big one, and some other ones they always want to dub a foreign movie, and I prefer to hear it in its own language and read instead.
Is big on dubbing.
Poland as well, yeah. Because it irritates me to no end to see the mouth moving differently than the words coming out of it, so good.
Now that's one good thing with Norway. We generally don't dub things unless they are designed for very, very small children. This is the reason I have this fantastically impressive, good grasp on speaking English good.
Oh, sorry, I had to send that one later. Kaya wants to know if you're okay, your sister. Are you okay, Karl? He did call his mother.
Yes, I'm fine. Do I look distressed? Do you think I'm being held hostage?
See that, Kaya? I beat him in javelin throwing, and it's his own javelin. Bjornara says,
Send help.
Your English is delicious, Karl. The movie Birkebeiner upholds a proud Norwegian tradition of pissing on costume accuracy. The cast look as if they got a very good price on the Vette costumes after the Lillehammer Olympics of 1994. What did those look like?
This is Bjornara comment, I guess.
Oh, this is definitely your relative. By the way, Bjornara, you need to come here and do some movie reviews. What did the Vette costumes look like? It was a Vette costumes from Lillehammer, 94. I came in 97, so I missed that one.
Presumably big balls of fur on random places, I guess.
Well, let's see. What was I going to ask? Another question. Do we want to see? You have an arrow with you in a bow? Did you bring it?
Yeah.
Should we go and see what he looks like when he shoots an arrow?
I can shoot. It's easier than throwing javelins.
Do you want to shoot it there, though? Or?
He is a little bit more competent on this.
Oh, he's really good at this. Of course, now we built you up.
Shoot the bear.
Don't sell the horse before you shoot the bear, he said. Like that one. All right, no one's watching, Rune. Oh, wait, we have to go a little bit like this so we can see you. There we are. Woo! 1. Make him do it again. Do you have to do it again? Because I believe that was pure luck.
Well, I split the javelin.
Yeah, after all that work. He wants to know if he should split the javelin.
That's
near
dead center of the...
That is near dead center.
The arrow goes a bit too deep in that log, so it's hard to get him out again.
Kai says, well done with javelin throwing, Karin. It doesn't matter if I win or lose as long as I beat you. No. And she also said, good job calling home. No wonder she was wondering if you were okay after the mention of the King's Sverre. When you were talking about King's Sverre and you disappeared.
Did I disappear?
I don't know. Did you?
No, I think it's the double-headed axe.
Oh, the double-headed axe thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
no.
There you go. Look what you did, Kaya.
Nobody who wasn't... I'm trying to come up with a word that doesn't insult any groups of people.
Okay.
Well, if you do a good job, Robin wants someone to have an apple on their head while Rune shoots.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What's wrong with the two-headed axe?
Do you have any idea how heavy that bloody thing would be?
Yeah.
It would be like...
maybe they were stronger in those days.
It would be like wielding Eloan as a weapon.
Eloan is a little boy.
Yeah.
He's 4?
Yep.
Yep.
And he will weigh about the same as that axe.
Okay. So you're going to just start picking up little 4-year-olds and beating each other with them? That's not very nice. Okay, so I have to show. I'll walk right back here. We have to see this. Okay. That's the house, by the way. Heidi and Rune stay in. Look at the javelin. And you were almost center, but it could have been more center, I think, on the arrow.
Yeah, I didn't aim too well.
No, I think you need to do it again.
No. It's very hard to get them out, so I don't.
No, don't break your arrows if they're hard to get out. Do you know the reason why the javelin actually sunk, but don't tell them I told you this? It's because I'm at the top part where it's softer than here.
That would stick even in the other part.
Yeah.
But I threw like a girl.
Yeah.
They're conceding. I like it. Okay. We have about 15 more minutes. What are we going to discuss next week? Was it music? What we different music instruments we use? We'll put you back here so you don't get sick. Music it was. Robin wants to hear music.
Yeah.
Heidi says one of my friends shot me with a Harkamp arrow once. It hurt.
Yeah.
I don't suggest. I don't think that's a good idea to get hit with an arrow in a Harkamp.
They have a quite heavy punch when they hit you.
Yeah, in Harkamp, the bows are weak. The
First,
arrows have really big
What is a
fletchings.
Harkamp for those who don't know?
It's reenactment combat. So everything is designed to be survivable, if not somewhat unpleasant.
Yeah.
I've never used bows or fought against people who use bows, so I can't say exactly what it feels like, but somewhat unpleasant, I would guess.
But where did they shoot you? You know, here. My kids used to get arrows from the Oslo Medieval Festival. They had little suction cups on the end, but not suction cups. They're like suction balls.
They're flat plastic heads.
Yeah, they're like
rubber
rubber heads, so it just kind of bounces. But those things hurt too.
Oh yeah, it's a matter of the bow and the arm strength of the kid wielding it.
You should all get together and play Valheim and record his reactions. Have we seen? Is that on the list?
It's
Valheim?
a computer game, not a movie.
Do they have two-headed axes?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Tell them about the game you're playing with the big two-headed axe that you didn't know you could wield on a horse.
I play Mountain Blade Bannerlord, and it didn't occur to me that the game doesn't understand that it would be somewhat unpractical to wield an executioner's axe while galloping through big flocks of enemies. So I just tried it on a whim, and I was laughing. When I saw the effect of it, I was laughing for quite a while. The game it's realistic-ish, but this kind of blowed my mind. I can just ride into a flock of peasants with a big executioner's axe. They can basically do nothing to me, and I can just go.
Just had to send my boss a message. The one that got the red wrist warmers. Just because I gave her red wrist warmers for her birthday doesn't make her any less demanding. I tried. It was worth it.
You do know she can be watching this without writing in the chat, right?
But she likes me. I mean, no. That could be inconvenient for the horse. And yes, it does look like you are decapitating that horse.
It looks like I'm enthusiastically trying to decapitate my own horse.
So bad.
But only peasants nearby dies, so it's fine.
Kai says, I have horses if you would like to try it in real life. Are you sure the horse wants to have that tried? Unless you were planning on sending it to the sausage factory. I don't know.
I think I could probably avoid hitting the horse, but I don't think I would wield executioner's axe in combat with or without a horse. It's kind of meant to just do one thing and do that thing very well. One stroke down and you don't survive. But they don't really care if you manage to get that axe up again anytime before next Friday. So it's not exactly balanced for combat.
So if you get hit with the arrow in a Harkamp, is that worse than getting hit in paintball?
I would think it's about the same, but I have not tried either of them. So it's like for me to say that one blue thing that I've never seen is slightly more blue than another blue thing that I've never seen, to quote Blackadder.
Yeah, but the arrow is normally heavier than a paintball ball.
Yes, but it also has less velocity. So.
No, I was just checking the calendar. I mean, we still have 10 minutes to go, but yep, because we've had to move 2 YouTube sendings from Saturday to Friday. This was one of them.
Yeah.
So I think we threw a few people. So I'm really glad people found it, especially because I did not have much time to advertise this morning. And I think I only posted it on like 10 pages.
You have
but next time is Saturday.
Not now, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow? Yeah, no, there's no room. They have a lot of less than Viking looking people in the village. There's an event, so we'll let them have the village. And so we sent today instead, but also because some people said that they had a hard time making it on Saturdays. So this was a nice little trade-off. No, but I did check the schedule. Next week we are definitely here on Saturday at 6 o'clock my time or Norwegian time. So basically same time. I was just reading back in the comments here. It would be epic to come over one summer, bringing Kaya's Icelandic horses and doing some riding experience with sword, arrow, and javelin. They would love to have you here doing that. Just so you know, I'll let you talk to my boss with the warm wrist warmers with the Viking ship on them. The one that's nagging at the moment. No, I think she forgot that we were sending today instead of tomorrow. Bjorn also says when we fight with the hard rubber arrowheads, they hurt about the same as paintball, depending on how hard the archer pulls the bow when shooting. So if you did it because your bow is heavy, would that hurt more than I'm taking it?
His bow would probably be too heavy for this.
So do you have like restrictions on how heavy your bow can be in Harkamp?
I would have to, because one of the archery stories from the Viking Age is about Einar Tambarskjeld, who can shoot an arrow without a head, basically a flat wooden arrow through a skin. And I don't think it would make much of a difference if Einar Tambarskjeld had rubber heads or metal heads.
So there was a movie we watched not too long ago with really horrible. It was the Viking Berserker one. They had those little arrows made out of twigs that were like really bent in. So you're saying they could.
Okay.
So you're saying that could have done some damage?
No, that could not have done any damage unless you rubbed it with polonium and somebody very accidentally swallowed it.
And then would that be a Darwin-worthy death if you got hit with an arrow that didn't have a tip on it and died?
No, you would have to show an impressive amount of stupidity to get the Darwin award death.
Okay. It doesn't come back and kill you after death anyway. What happens if your bow is too strong?
I would guess you're not allowed to use it. We have the same thing with much of our equipment.
Yeah, they do that with the Dane axes and the spears. They cut some length off those if they're too long too, don't they?
Not length, but you can't have anything that is too pointy.
Yeah.
And one thing that keeps happening if you are fighting with Roger much is that you get big nicks in your blade, so that you basically have like a saw blade.
Yeah.
And then you have to file it down.
Okay.
You test it by dragging it over your arm, and if you feel a nick, you have to go and get a file.
I remember seeing there was some YouTube videos anyway where they actually had to cut all the lengths down off of it, but I thought it was because of the length. But if it was because of
that might be individual
this
rules.
This is more mainland Europe. I mean, Europe.
I would say that if you can control it, then oh no, I see how far into innuendo land I'm moving with this, but if you can control it, the length doesn't really matter.
You get to write next week's description. Oh, you are suppressing that one. Bjornar says we use crossbows too. Bjornar does Harkamp, by the way. He says we use crossbows too, but they are unpopular as you cannot shoot other than max force. The archers only pull max when shooting over long ranges. If the bow pulls more than 15 pounds, you either have to be very routined and know much about how to pull the bow, or you'd you'd have to find a 15-pound bow.
Yeah, 15-pound bow. We have kids' bows that are that weak, but my bow is 46, and we have several bows that are more than 60 pounds, so they way too strong for Herkamp.
Yeah.
How much are the kid bows? Because those hurt me and they're too hard to pull.
I think they are maybe 20.
The numbers that are on them is, I think, 24 and 26.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But they haven't been super well maintained, and they are several years old, so they probably lost a little bit of oomph.
At more competitive events, they have max lengths for spears too, like at Mosegard. That might have been the Mosegard ones I saw.
Now, if it's a competition, then you want to level the playing field so that the best man wins, not the longest spare wins.
We did something. How do you measure the weight of a handmade bow?
Sorry. You can put the bow on a tile, and then you have put a fish weight on the string and just pull, and then you can see how much weight you need to pull. Easy.
So there you have it. With the last 4 minutes, what did we do on Friday? No, Saturday after YouTube. What did we do?
We had Greg fry chocolate.
Yeah.
But this time smaller pieces. We tried the ones with hard toffee in it, the ones with caramel in it, and then just plain.
We are learning. This time it's much better. They're basically the thingy we dip the chocolate in basically turns into bread. So it's like bread with the melted chocolate center. It was really good.
I still have to do a post from that. No, they actually turned out really good this time. The only thing is when the oil started to get old, they started going blacker. So we tried these chocolates, if you can see them. Stop turning phone. Smil, Melk og Chokolade, and Daim are the names in Norwegian. And he actually added a couple more. He had a lion bar, a white lion bar, sport lunch, whatever the hell that is, and Stratos brownie heaven, because he was not going to give up on the big chocolate. But we did do the recipe sent by the German person. Here's Greg frying, still in Viking clothes, because this is a very Viking activity. I just want you to know. I don't know why they don't take me seriously. This is they still look like baby aliens though. I don't know how, if you can see like all the little extra, if I hold it, look at the mountains. Anyway, but they were getting a little darker and darker because of how long they sat in there, and some of the chocolate, I think in that one especially, you can see the chocolate was starting to ooze out.
Looks very, very delicious.
They were actually pretty good. I ate a bunch. Here's what the batter looked like with the chocolates in it. So you can see we did much thicker this time. So we're learning. Well, Greg is learning. We're just letting him do all of it because we're too lazy.
Thicker batter and fry for longer.
Thicker
then you
batter.
avoid alien-looking things that we ate last time.
There we have him doing his work. If I get the glare from off. Baby aliens! No, but this was actually kind of cool. So I think we have to do this again. Obviously not in the Viking village, though. What could we fry in the Viking village if they didn't have chocolate? We got to fry something.
Oh, come on. We are pushing the authenticity goose a little bit too hard these days.
They're there again. They're good, though. They just, when they started getting too burned. Anyway, so there you go.
The only thing we have to fry is chickens.
Greg survived.
Yeah, and we could probably get some fish.
Yeah, fish.
And frying fish in oil is not... I wouldn't say it's out of the question that I would have done it, but I doubt it.
No.
The oil would be too expensive, and frying fish in fish oil is a little bit too dumb.
Karl's eating one?
Sheep fat? Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Lanolin, maybe?
I don't know how well these are playing, but anyway. I like the way you're just daring me to film you with a bad reaction, Karl. Fried in fish batter, yummy. And then there's me. I'm going to do this. It's really hot. But yes, good with ice cream. Last photo. There you go. So more experiments by Vikings off the clock. Oh, so next week music. What kind of music are we gonna do? You have the moon harp or the jaw harp, and then you have it with you. Little taste. And you got bells on your shoes so you can jump around. And Greg has the lira if he remembers to bring it, or the lira.
He will remember that.
And you have drums.
Yeah, drums.
And you have a couple different kind of horns.
Yeah.
What else can we bring? We have a triangle over there, but I don't know if that's very Viking. We used that to tell villagers it's time to go. I mean, tourists to go home because we're closing. The German made that, so it's an authentic Viking German Viking triangle.
Yes,
and then you always get people who start banging.
A noise maker to scare the tourists.
That's not a German dialect.
No, I always end up like Dracula, no matter which dialect I'm trying to copy.
And then oftentimes, if we're having little parades during markets, for example, you get people who just literally bang two stones together or a couple of bones.
Normally, we would have flutes.
We don't have it. Well, Virginia had a flute, but she's in Helmer now.
Yeah.
Do we have anybody else that plays that?
I don't
Those
know.
little piccolo things.
Maybe Greg he has a flute.
I don't know for sure. I am perfectly happy as long as I don't see the water-filled carenas ever again.
Yeah.
I hated those things so much.
Yeah.
So, the bird flute. Oh my God. Yeah, no. The one thing that will irritate any guide on a tour is those little kids running around with these little flutes or those little whistles that sound like birds.
Yeah. And kids don't get tired of it either.
No.
We know what instrument he's going to play now.
Yeah.
Heidi says, bring your singing voice. So there you go, Karl. How's that go again?
I don't know if I sing.
No, you just made a bird noise. How'd that go? The cooing? I can't do that.
I'm doing 5 guided tours a day. And every tour, I have at least one kid with one of these flutes in his mouth. So he makes this sound both when he's breathing in and when he's breathing out.
Can you do that?
So, while I normally can speak in this voice, welcome to Njardarheimar. You probably already have a mental image of the Viking Age, blah, blah, blah. With these kids, I have to go, welcome to Njardarheimar.
I think everybody at Yoker just bought a ticket.
I hate those flutes so much. The happiest moment of my life was when I discovered that they are from like 150 years after the Viking Age, so I could happily go, no, you can't sell them.
I have one. I'm going to bring it. I'm pretty sure I have one, my kid. Sounded like Karl had engine problems. I like that. And we can get you Morris dancing now with those shoes. So we're going to have a lot of fun next week. I'll see if I finish needle binding something. There you go. Morris dancing. No, it's... Okay, we're done. Because we're now officially on overtime. See you on Saturday at 6 o'clock, and we'll bring Greg here. Bye.
Bye.
How do I end? There it is.